sun illuminates the eyes behind these tinted lens. Deep within your mind is hidden gems. Take the time to dig.
What's good? People, back with another video, so you know it's that time. Let you know what's on my mind. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Check out the other videos when you got time. And we back with another reaction video. And today we're gonna be reacting to a video of a pastor who gives his take on the ultimate test of true friendship. Let's get into it.
You don't find out who your real friends are.
First of all, man, why I don't understand why people do this on the internet, like do this side by side shit. They're watching the video, they not adding no commentary. Hold on, man, real quick, cause her ass just want to be seen, man. Let me get her up out of here real quick, man. Cause I don't understand. Your ass just want to be seen, so get her the fuck out of here. All right, now let's rock. Let's start it over from the beginning.
You don't find out who your real friends are until you become a burden. Woo! You don't know who really got you until you become a burden. And when you don't have money, and when you don't have transportation, and when you gotta take all your kids and move it into their house, and they don't have the room, but they have the heart. See, help ain't about substance, help is about heart. I don't have to have enough bedrooms, but if I love you, I'll put all my kids in the bed with me. God, help me.
All right, so that's the end of that video, man. And let me start out by saying, I think he had the right intentions with this video. I understand where he's getting at, what he's saying, but I think it need to be some more context to it. He could have added context in his sermon or whatever, you know. But as far as this clip go, because you know the internet is a place of clips and sound bites. You know, most people don't take the time to go and review the entire situation. You know, So I just want to add a little bit of context, because for the most part, I agree with the premise of what he's saying. I agree with the intentions of what he's saying, but everything he's saying, it need a little context added to it. By just giving that blanket statement, the point that he's making is missing the nuance. For example, man, saying that you don't know who your friends are until you become a burden, it depends on what type of burden are you. For one thing, everybody already carrying their own burdens, and that made life hard enough for most people. So you not being willing to add somebody else's burdens to your own burden don't necessarily make you a bad person, because it's a difference between somebody being a burden. Just for instance, he gave an example about you may not have enough room in your house, but you allow somebody to move into your house and you make room for them. It's a difference between somebody not having a place to stay just because they lazy and they don't want to work and they just using you as a fallback plan, versus somebody having a house fire and losing everything they own and then needing to move in with you. In the second example, I would totally 100% agree with what he's saying. If somebody that you know and love, family members, don't have a house fire and they don't have nowhere to go, and you gotta make some room for them, then it's cool. You know, I'm a person that done had people stay with them, live with them. I done live with people. I done slept in cars with people when I had somewhere to go, because I didn't want to have them be out in a car alone by themselves, you know what I'm saying, and in an unsafe situation. And I did open up my space for them to be invited in, but for whatever reason they decided to continue to, you know, stay in their car and handle their own burdens, and I can respect that. So the best I could do in that situation would just be a friend and be like, all right then, fuck it, I ain't finna let you sleep out here by you, I ain't finna let you sleep in the car by yourself. I'ma sleep right here with you, you know what I'm saying, just in case, so I can watch it back. So it really applies to the situation. You know, you don't want to just be going out of your way to do stuff for people who don't really deserve stuff to be done for them, because they put themselves in that situation and they intentionally made the wrong decisions, and they not even trying to help themselves out of that situation. And another thing with that is you don't want to be encouraging no victim mentality. A lot of times in these churches, man, they encourage a victim mentality throughout their congregation. Now, I'm not saying this pastor do the same thing, because I'm not totally hip to all of his preachings and, you know, how he conduct his services, but it does encourage a victim mentality. One thing people got to understand is that you're not entitled to be helped by nobody, especially if you're a grown as adult, man. You're not entitled to be helped by nobody. And I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that that's the truth. That's why when people do go out their way to help you, that's why you appreciate them people, and, you know, you show them people that you appreciate them, and you reciprocate the energy, you know, because not everybody is willing to do that. So that can help you determine the type of people that you have around you. But just because somebody is not willing to take on your burden don't necessarily mean they not a real friend, you know. That just means that they got their own burden, that they might attempt to do what they can do for you, you know, but as a grown as adult, you're not entitled to be helped or spoon fed by nobody. So you don't want to be having that victim mentality to where you feel like everybody just owe you something, because don't nobody owe you shit. Don't nobody owe you nothing in life, you know what I'm saying? You owe it to yourself. And believe it or not, sometimes not having that help can light a fire up under your ass for you to help yourself. And in that aspect, they helped you because they didn't help you. Them not helping you helped you because you decided to help yourself. Friends should be there for you in your time of need. It's wrong of you to expect them to carry your burdens. Like I said, it's all about the expectations and the entitlement, especially if you picking up the burdens of the wrong type of person. Because then what happened? You have examples of like the other video I did that you can go watch about the woman who allowed her sister to stay in her house and paid her bills, and then once she told her that she had to leave because she couldn't afford to pay for it no more, she destroyed the house, you know. So you got to be careful about who burdens you pick up, and that don't make you a bad person because you had the foresight to see that, all right, this is a person who burdens I shouldn't be adding to my own burdens. And another thing you got to look at is if you are in a position to be helped, or are you just helpless? You know, it's a difference. You know what I'm saying? You got to be in a position to be helped. You can't just be a helpless person, because a helpless person, no matter how much help you give them, that help won't never help them because they're not willing to help themselves. Then what can they do about it? You know, and you can't really get upset about that. Just say, for example, if we work buddies, every day we go to lunch together, but you can never afford lunch. You just never can buy lunch for whatever reason, you know, and me as a friend, I just decide to pay for your lunch. Now, am I supposed to pay for your lunch every day this week? Am I supposed to pay for your lunch every day this month? Am I supposed to pay for your lunch every day this year? Am I supposed to pay for your lunch for the next 2 years, the next 3 years? Even though I saw you get a raise, or even though I saw you get a promotion, and you still can't afford to pay for lunch, but am I supposed to be the friend that continues just to buy your lunch even though you got this promotion, you got this raise, I seen this, I see that you making more money, I see that you blowing your money on other stuff? Am I supposed to continue to pay for your lunch, you know, just because you say you can't afford it? So if I decide not to pay for your lunch again, does that make me a bad friend? Or if I pay for your food indefinitely, would that make me a good friend? Or would that just make you a leech? So like I said, it's nuances to these situations, man. It's nuances to what he's saying. Another thing I want to say, man, I'm not saying this applies specifically to this pastor right here, but I'm just saying, when I lived in LA, one of the places I lived was Echo Park. I lived right across the street from the actual Echo Park Lake, and on the corner was a humongous church, humongous, you know what I'm saying? And also in that area was a lot of homeless people, you know what I'm saying? Homeless encampments and stuff like that. For the life of me, I could not understand how that church was so fucking big, but you have all this homeless around, and I never saw this church do anything to come out and help these people, especially when they're supposed to be there to help the community. Saying that to say, if several families from this church came to this pastor said, hey, pastor, I heard this sermon that you said, and you right, you know, me and my kids, we ain't got nowhere to go right now. I was wondering if we could live in this church until we got back on our feet. Would this pastor be willing to do that? Would this pastor willing to be openest? I ain't talking about, you know, just doing little meals and soup kitchens. I'm talking about fully allowing people to live in them rooms, because that church big. That's a big church. You can see it from, you can just look at it. Let me just bring it back. Look, you just, well, you can't see it because I blew it up to get her ass out the clip. But if it's not a mega church, it's at least a very large church. So I'm pretty sure that the church got plenty of rooms in it. Now, would this pastor, deacon board, and his staff allow those families to move into that church? Not even into his house, into the church where they can stay. would he be willing to do that? And if he was to say no, would that make him a bad pastor? Because by what he's saying, that would make you a bad friend by not making space for somebody else to move into your house and bring more burdens into your house. You gotta also consider the messenger too, man. Especially in these churches, man, there'd be a lot of pandering to the congregation. The messages, they do have some validity, but at the same time, it'd be a lot of motherfucking pandering going on just so they can pass that collection plate around. I'm not saying that's this pastor in particular, but I'm just saying churches are non-profit organizations and they are tax exempt. So the money that you give them, they ain't paying no taxes on, and that's why you got pastors that's able to ask their congregation for millions of dollars to buy a motherfucking jet. You did. For example, like Joel Osteen wasn't willing to open his church to allow people to move in and stay and have shelter. Eventually he did, but it took the people to get on him to actually do it. Now, does that make him a bad pastor? Or was it just a situation to where he decided he didn't want to pick up that type of burden? So you make that determination, you know? Like I said, it's nuance to all these situations, man. But all in all, man, I do agree with the premise of his message, man, which is friends should be there for you in your time of need. But what I am saying is that you also got to look at not only what your friend willing to do or not willing to do, you got to look at yourself and look at what you doing for yourself, the position that you in, and take accountability and responsibility for yourself. Totally not have that entitlement spirit and expectations of somebody to do something for you. You know, you got to be looking at yourself first, so you can't just disregard somebody based on what they will or will not do for you. You know, it's a lot more nuance to the situation. But like I said, all in all, I do agree with this message. Your friends that are there for you during your time of need, whether they did more than you expected or whether they did less than you expected, but it was the best that they could do, you want to show them people appreciation, man, and gratefulness and thank them for, you know, being there for you. And you also want to reciprocate that energy not only to those people who helped you, but others that you are willing and able to help. So with that being said, man, that's today's reaction video, man. Make sure y'all like, share, comment, and subscribe. Check out the other videos when you got time. Stay on your grind. Don't let nobody stop you. You don't need validation from nobody but yourself. And until next video, peace, love, I'm gone.
Illuminates the eyes behind these tinted lens. Deep within your mind is hidden gems. Take the time to dig. Always so conscious with no conscience, feel unconscious still. How can we budget trying to bond all these monthly bills? They taught us lies about the world that really wasn't real. Hidden agendas that have still yet to be revealed. They took the minds of our little girls and poisoned